Bob Toth. On 26 April 2018, the Indians will continue their 11-game homestand on Thursday as the Seattle Mariners make their lone visit to Cleveland for the 2018 season in a 4-game weekend series. Contests will mark the final times the two clubs will play this year, and all before the first full month of the regular season playing schedule concludes. The Indians, 13-9, split a pair of interleague games during the week with the Chicago Cubs in a rematch of sorts of the 2016 World Series to kick off their second homestand of the month. The Tribe have played well at home this season, posting a 7-3 mark this April, but they are just 2-4 so far this season against the American League West, with 7 games against the division during their current 11 games in 10 days homestand. The Indians enter the day with a 3-game lead over Detroit in the AL Central. The Mariners, 13-10, started the season with 2 wins in 3 games against the Indians. They will need all of the wins that they can get to keep pace with the Houston Astros, who are off to another hot start and are one of the best teams in the game. The Mariners are also looking up at the Los Angeles Angels in the standings, as the Halos are off to a 16-9 start with a ridiculous 11-2 road mark. The Mariners have played better away from home, 8-5, than at home, 5-5 this season. Clevinger, Mitchell Layton, Getty Images pitching probables and notes. Thursday, April 26, at 6:10 p.m. Eastern Time, LHP James Paxton, 1-1, 5.61 ERA vs. RHP Mike Clevinger, 2-0, 1.75. Paxton began his season with a loss against the Indians in the second game of the season. The 29-year-old was tagged for 6 runs on 6 hits with 4 walks and 4 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings. In the starts that followed, he had gotten progressively better until a rough outing in Texas against the Rangers. He threw his shortest outing in 5 attempts this season, allowing 5 runs on 6 hits with 6 strikeouts and 3 walks in just 4 innings. It will be his first career start at Progressive Field and his 4th start overall against the Indians. He is winless in his previous 3 attempts, taking losses in each while recording a 5.87 ERA and a 1.63 WHIP. The 27-year-old Clevinger did not see the Mariners in the Tribe's season-opening series at Safeco Field. It will be the first game of his career against Seattle on Thursday. He is coming off of the best outing of his career on Saturday in Baltimore, when he fired a 2-hit complete game shutout over the Orioles. He has allowed just 5 runs in 25 2/3 innings on the season, and 4 of those came in one rough 4th inning against the Toronto Blue Jays on April 13. Friday, April 27, at 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time, RHP Erasmo Ramirez, 0-1, 9.64 vs. RHP Corey Kluber, 3-1, 1.96. The 27-year-old right-hander Ramirez is the second big leaguer of that name. A native of Nicaragua, one of 3 in the majors presently, he is in his 7th season in the majors and his 2nd year back in Seattle with the Mariners. He has made just 1 start this season, taking a loss his first time out against Texas after allowing 5 runs on 5 hits in 4 2/3 innings. It will his 8th overall appearance in his career against Cleveland and his 5th start. He comes in with a 1-2 record with a 3.51 ERA and a 1.01 WHIP, with the win coming back in 2013. Kluber had to battle a bit in Baltimore on Sunday, but he still came away with a victory in the series finale. The 32-year-old earned his 3rd straight win, allowing 3 runs on 6 hits in 7 innings of work. He has faced the Mariners 5 times in his career and has factored in each decision. He is 3-2 with a 1.66 ERA and a 0.95 WHIP with 43 strikeouts in 38 innings. In the season opener, he threw his 2nd career complete game against Seattle, but took the loss after allowing a pair of runs on 6 hits in 8 innings. Saturday, April 28, at 4:10 p.m. Eastern Time, RHP Mike Leake, 2-2, 6.59 vs. RHP Carlos Carrasco, 4-0, 2.31. Leake, a 30-year-old right-hander out of San Diego and Arizona State University, put up a good start in his season debut against Cleveland on April 1. He allowed just 2 runs on 5 hits with 3 walks and 4 strikeouts in 7 innings, earning his first win of the year and his 3rd career victory over the Indians in 8 starts. In his 4 starts since, he has lasted no later than 6 complete innings and has just 1 other quality start to his credit. His last time out on Monday, he was tagged for 8 runs on 12 hits in just 3 1/3 innings. Carrasco will look to continue his perfect start to the 2018 campaign with his 2nd start of the year against the Mariners and his 6th start overall. He has won 10 straight decisions dating back to last season, including his last start against Baltimore on Monday when he allowing just 1 run on 6 hits over 7 1/3 innings. He owns a 4-2 record in 7 career games, 6 starts against the Mariners with a 3.49 ERA and a 1.06 WHIP. He was blessed into a win in his first start against the Mariners this season, as he allowed 5 runs on 7 hits with 4 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings, but came away victorious. Sunday, April 29 at 1:10 p.m. Eastern Time, LHP Marco Gonzalez, 2-2, 5.56 versus RHP Josh Tomlin, 0-3, 9.24. Gonzalez, a former first-round pick by the St. Louis Cardinals in the 2013 June draft out of Gonzaga, will make his first start against Cleveland in his career on Sunday. He had previously worked against them once in relief last season, allowing 3 hits but striking out a pair in 2 innings of work. This is his second season with the Mariners after being acquired by Seattle in July of last season for outfield prospect Tyler O'Neill. He is coming off of his best start of the season, when he threw 6 shutout innings of 5-run ball while matching a season high with 8 strikeouts. Tomlin will look to bounce back in a big way against the Mariners after a rough outing against the Chicago Cubs on Tuesday night. In that game, he allowed 3 solo homers and 5 runs in total on 7 hits in just 3 2/3 innings in his first start since April 10. The Mariners may just be the team for him to face. Of all teams that he has faced more than twice in his career, his winning percentage against Seattle is the best, .833, courtesy of a 5-1 record in 7 starts with 1 complete game shutout. He faced them once last season, allowing 4 runs on 8 hits in 5 innings while earning a W. Broadcast information TV, Fox Sports, Sports Time Ohio, All, Route Northwest, All, Radio, All, Cleveland Indians Radio Network, CLE, 710 ESPN, Seattle, Transactions and Injury Notes, Cleveland, Cody Anderson, P, 60-day disabled list, 2/25, recovery from April 2017 UCL surgery, Jeff Beliveau, RP, contract purchased from AAA Columbus, 4/26, Melky Cabrera, signed to a minor league contract, 4/24, Lonnie Chisenhall, RF, 10-day disabled list, 4/8, right calf strain, Jack Leathersich, RP, designated for assignment from AAA Columbus, Ryan Merritt, P, 10-day disabled list, 3/26, left knee sprained, Andrew Miller, RP, placed on 10-day disabled list, 4/26, left hamstring strain, Danny Salazar, P, 10-day disabled list, 3/26, right shoulder rotator cuff tendonitis, Giovanni Urshela, UTL, 10-day disabled list, 3/26, right hamstring strain, on rehab assignment, Seattle, Dario Alvarez, P, outrighted to AAA Tacoma, 4/25, Ryan Healy, 1B, activated from 10-day disabled list, 4/26, David Phelps, P, 10-day disabled list, 3/26, recovery from March 2018 UCL surgery, Dan Vogelbach, 1B, option to AAA Tacoma, 4/26, Cruz, Jonathan Daniel, Getty Images, Seattle Stats, Mitch Haniger ate up Cleveland pitching during their visit to Safeco earlier this month. He was 5 for 8.625 in the series with a double, 2 homers, and 3 RBI. Cano has had great success in his career against the Mariners, and he opened the season with the same kind of numbers. He was 6 for 10 in the 3 games with 2 doubles and a run batted in. Nelson Cruz is one of the top active players in home runs against the Indians, with 19 blasts to his credit against them. He added 2 to that list during the Tribe's trip to Seattle, when he was 2 for 6 before injuring his ankle walking down the dugout steps following the latter shot. Cruz is hitting .268 on the year with a .554 slugging mark with 4 homers and 9 RBI. Kyle Seager struggled against the Indians in Seattle to start the season, going 1 for 10 with 4 strikeouts, but he has feasted at Progressive Field in his career. In 22 games in Cleveland, he has slashed .360, .409, .663 with 9 doubles, a triple, 5 homers, and 12 RBI. He has homered in 5 of his 7 trips to town. Last season, however, was one of his worst seasons at the park, as he was just 2 for 10 with a single, a homer, and 2 RBI. Tribe by the numbers, the Indians' bats combined to hit just .186 in their season-opening series against the Mariners. Edwin Encarnacion led the way with 3 hits in 9 at-bats, 12 plate appearances. 2 of the 3 left the yard while he drove in 3. Yonder Alonso's return to Safeco went well, as he was 3 for 10 in the series with a double, a homer, 2 walks, and 4 runs batted in. He has found the long ball in the last week, hitting 3 home runs and driving in 6 runs in his last 7 games. Few teams in the last few years can claim to have held Jose Ramirez in check, but the top three pitchers in the Mariners' rotation and the bullpen were able to do that to the switch hitter. He was 0 for 12 in the series and grounded into a double play. Ramirez has been on fire of late. In his last 13 games, he has hit .400 with 6 homers and 8 RBI. He has hits in 12 of those 13 contests, including 5 straight coming into play on Thursday night. The team's loss of the All-Star reliever Miller led to a domino effect of moves. Belivo's contract was purchased from AAA Columbus, but in order to add him to the club, a corresponding 40-man roster move was needed, which led to Leatherstich being designated for assignment. Belivo had made 7 scoreless appearances for the Clippers, earning 1 save while allowing just 2 hits and a walk and striking out 14 in 8 2/3 innings. Tribe Trivia. Welcome back to this weekend's edition of Tribe Trivia. As has been the theme, this batch of trivia will connect the Indians and Mariners organizations. This former Cleveland Indians manager is the bench coach on current Mariners manager Scott Survey staff. Who am I? This current coach on manager Terry Francona's staff was a bench coach for the Mariners and manager Don Wakamatsu in 2009 and 2010. Who am I? This first baseman with some home run pop joined the Indians from the Minnesota Twins just before the start of the 1992 season and put up a consistent numbers for Cleveland as they worked towards a World Series appearance in 1995. After that season, he was non-tendered by the Indians and signed with the Mariners for $1 million. Who am I? Next up, the Mariners will take Monday off for the long flight home to Seattle, where they will open the month of May with a 6-game homestand against Oakland and the Los Angeles Angels. The Indians will host the Mariners' division rivals, the Texas Rangers, for 3 games on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before Thursday's double dip with the Toronto Blue Jays. Photo, Stephen Brashear, Getty Images.